it's Sherry with our Praising Paws, and today I'm going to show you how to make the Pawfect Puppy Pizza. We're going to be making this Pawfect Puppy Pizza for Duke's 5th birthday. Every year I make my dog something very special to celebrate each year that they have been here with me. This year we're actually going to be making the Pawfect Puppy Pizza for Duke, and I think he's going to absolutely love it. We're going to do some minimal ingredients because I want to keep this pizza as natural as possible and as healthy as possible for him, so we're not going to be adding any additives. It's all going to be natural. It's going to be a base of cauliflower crust, chicken, tomato puree for the sauce, and a very small amount of cheese. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So one of the first ingredients you're gonna need is some chopped cauliflower. I went the easy route and I just had already chopped up cauliflower already made for me just like this. You can buy a whole head of cauliflower if you prefer, but I wanted to take the easy route and I did it this way. Although it's already chopped up for me, I still need to puree it to almost like a powder-like consistency. And this is what we're gonna be making the crust with. I already started chopping some of the parsley, but we're gonna use this knife to cut open the bag. And we're just gonna put it in my food processor over here. And the end result, we need about 3 cups of the powdered cauliflower. So I just went ahead and dumped all of that in there because I'm not really quite sure how much this is gonna yield. So that worked perfectly. I just pulsed it for maybe 45 seconds and the consistency is completely different. So now what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna put this in a microwave safe container. I'm going to cook the cauliflower in the microwave until it's a soft consistency. Like I said earlier, I really enjoy making these treats for my dogs every year. I have done meatloaf cupcakes. I have done, oh, what else have I done? Cupcakes, just normal cupcakes, like peanut butter, I think it was. Cauliflower already is high in moisture, and that is something ideal also that we want to use in the pizza because dogs really need to be having a high moisture diet. So this is a great way to add moisture into their diet. Typically you wouldn't want to give your dog really high carbs because they really should be having a higher protein diet. But special occasions like this, it's okay to give them just a little bit more. So we're gonna go ahead and nuke this for about, I'm gonna say 2 minutes. We're gonna try that, see where the consistency is on that. And then while that is going, I'm going to continue to chop up some of my parsley. The parsley is good for a couple of things. One, it's good because it gives it that nice color, just like you would see in any normal pizza that you would eat yourself. The Italian colors of red, white, and green, you know? Another great benefit to parsley is a lot of dog treats that people make, like DIY themselves. It aids in fresh breath, and we all know our dogs can have better breath. It aids in that, and it also aids in sometimes if your dog has an upset stomach, then it can help soothe their stomach. Now, if your dogs are anything like mine, if you were to put some of the parsley just chopped up like this, probably in their daily food, they pick it out. They don't really want to eat it. I think it might be a texture thing. So if you were to puree it or bake it in within something like we're doing here on this pizza, they're not going to notice it as much. And the next thing I'm gonna do, I've already cut up some of my tomatoes here, but this is what the tomatoes that we're gonna be using for the tomato puree. I'm just gonna finish by dicing them up a little bit, and we're just making these smaller, so when we put them in the food processor, that we can get that paste-like consistency and won't be as hard for the food processor to break it down. So we're just putting into some chunks here. I'm gonna rinse out my food processor so we can get the tomatoes going. All right. My timer for the microwave went off. So we will check the cauliflower. I think it's getting there. It could cook just a little bit longer because we want it to be pretty soft because we're making a crust with this. So we're gonna put that in there for maybe 2 more minutes and see where we're at. In the meantime, what we're gonna do is we're going to add our tomatoes to the food processor to get it to a paste or sauce-like consistency. What you might find is when you're creating the sauce, it might be too thick and you may have to add some water. So we're gonna go ahead and process this up and see what the consistency is like. And if I feel like it needs to be thinner for the pizza sauce, then we'll add some water to it. We pretty much have everything put together that we're going to start assembling and making this Pawfect Puppy Pizza. The chicken is pretty much done. I cut through it. This piece right here is cooked pretty much all the way through. It's clear, running clear juices. There's no blood, no pink. This piece right here has a very, very small amount of pink, but again, we're gonna dice this up and we're going to bake the pizza one more time, anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. So this little amount is not going to make a difference. It's going to continue to cook through once we have it placed on the pizza. It's still pretty warm, so I'm going to use a fork to help hold on to the pieces of chicken, and I'm just going to dice this up. The smaller the pieces, the easier it is for your dog to digest the meat. The crust is still in the oven. It's starting to get a golden brown consistency and color, but I want the texture to be a little firmer. It's probably been in there for about 15 minutes, so I'm gonna bake that just for a little bit longer just because I want the crust to be a little bit firmer. And again, we're gonna bake it one more time, so the additional bake is going to help. You actually might only need 1 chicken breast. That's quite a bit of meat, so we'll probably just use 1 chicken breast instead of 2. Now if you were making a large pizza and you were doing like a dog birthday party and inviting all your dog's friends over, you might want to do more than 1 chicken breast just because if you need to make a larger pizza. And that is a trending thing, believe it or not. People are beginning to throw their pets parties, birthday parties. It's actually a trending thing starting in 2020. So I know it might sound a little crazy, but you know how we are with our pets. They're like our children, our family members. We have to also kind of remember too, right, that maybe some people aren't able to have children and their dogs are their children. So we can't be judging anyone, right? I mean, I talk to my dogs. I obviously make special treats for them for their birthday. We get them birthday presents, like new toys and stuff. We have yet to throw them a birthday party, but who knows, maybe one day we might. So we got this chicken pretty much all chopped up. We're just gonna set this to the side. We're just gonna wait a few more minutes for that cauliflower crust to just firm up just a little bit, and then we'll do some assembly. Okay, so we are now to the assembly portion of this Pawfect Puppy Pizza. I baked the cauliflower crust for, I think it was probably about 20 minutes, and you can see now that it's a golden brown color, and the consistency is quite a bit firmer than what we started with, which is great. It's what I wanted. We want it to be more like crust. So now that it's firmer, we're gonna assemble everything onto this pizza, and then we're gonna put it back in the oven for probably about 15 minutes until everything is all gooey, ooey, and yummy together, and the cheese is melted, and the crust is completely baked, and then we'll be done. The whole, making of the pizza, and then our dogs can enjoy it. So the first step, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna be adding our tomato paste. And now again, all this is Roma tomatoes pureed. I did not add anything else to this. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a spoon out, and we're gonna just lay a small amount onto the crust. Technically, you could add store-bought pizza sauce if you wanted, but like I said, there's a lot of additive stuff in that, and I don't want to be giving my dogs stuff that they don't need. And they're going to be just as happy with this. So we're just going to add a little bit of tomato puree for the sauce. Try not to get too close to the edges, but if you do, it's all right. And then the next step of what we're going to do is we're going to be sprinkling our chicken breast onto the pizza. And I had just diced this up finely because, like we had mentioned earlier, dogs' digestive tracts are much smaller than humans. So if you have like big chunks of chicken in there, they don't have the amount of time to break it down before it goes through a system. So if you can help them by chopping it up, that is ideal. Okay, I think that is a pretty good amount. Put some right here on this corner. And then we're gonna add our parsley. We had chopped up some parsley. Now you gotta have the red, green, and white colors for pizza. It's like the Italian colors, right? And parsley is really good for your dog's breath. Also, it does aid in soothing their stomach if they have upset stomach. If I were just to add this to my dog's kibble, they don't like it so much. But if I were to put it in a treat, like an icy treat for them, or like a cookie that I made or something like that, they don't know what's in there, then they'll eat it. All right, this is coming together. This is really exciting. I hope they like this as much as I had fun making it. Okay, so now we're gonna add some cheese. Ideally, you want to use low-fat cheese, but if you can't, that's okay. We're just gonna put a small amount. You don't want to overdo it on the cheese. I mean, if you're like me, I absolutely love cheese. And if I were making my own pizza, I would want to cover the whole thing with it. But dogs really don't need that much fat. So we're just gonna put enough on here to hold all the ingredients on it. This might seem like really difficult to make, but it really was really easy. I think the thing that may have taken the longest was the cauliflower crust. And from start to finish, that maybe took me 10 minutes, I think. Okay. So I think that's good. Now at this point, we are going to place the crust back in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll let it cool and let the puppies devour it.